thumbnail for a second here. We're going to be talking about the end of the e-thought, as it were.
The thought-pocalypse.
The e-thought apocalypse. Oh, excuse me. I had to leave you guys behind the thumbnail for a second there, though, because I took a sip of my coffee. And then I kind of choked on it a little bit, and it came out my nose, so I was having to clean up my mustache a bit. Here's Mario. Good morning, sunshine. How you holding up?
Good morning. Everything's fine.
This story that we've got for you this morning, and I've got quite a few references. I don't think we'll get through all of them this morning. We'll see what happens. But basically, and you need to go back and watch you guys need to go back and watch our deep dive on the P word industry. And you know what? We might as well just say the word porn, because we're not going to be able to get through this conversation without risking that level of demonetization anyway. Might as well just go ahead and get it out in the open.
The safety word is prawn. You can just say prawn.
Yeah, prawn.
Right? You wish.
And right? I've already removed that thumbnail. So it was about 2 months ago, I guess. We did a deep dive on the prawn industry, the origins of the industry, and its weaponization against not just good moral character and decency, but against America and capitalism and white people in particular. The entire industry is meant to hurt you. It's meant to cause you harm.
Correct. And with technology, a lack of regulation and that natural capitalist impulse, right? The availability and the barriers to access prawn have been basically have fallen to the wayside. Okay,
they've evaporated.
It is now ubiquitous. Okay, anyone can find it. Anyone can get it. Okay, to include young children, which is I consider the entire industry to be disgusting and a perversion. All right, but at a minimum, before you had to, what needs to happen at a minimum. I would like to see prawn basically wiped from the internet completely. Okay, and with AI, that shouldn't be that difficult. Okay, just set the algorithm to go hunter killer mode, Skynet mode, seeking out prawn and deleting it everywhere it finds it. Okay, this isn't absolutely 100% possible. And if you really need it, if you really want it, okay, then bring back the arrangement we had before. Okay, you got to do that walk of shame into the dirty bookstore. Okay, and talk to the 350-pound grease stained T-shirt animal behind the counter, right? To the fix. Okay. Or walking out of the gas station with the magazine in the black bag, that walk of shame.
Or the little, the little, what do they call them? The little booth theaters they used to have in New York. Remember Boondock Saints? I'll tip her.
Yeah. Karma Cathedral says, "Let's make prawn dirty again." Absolutely, exactly. Bring back the social shame of it. Okay, recreate those barriers. Recreate those barriers of hesitation prior to one consuming such product. Do not make it personal, ubiquitous, and basically in your hand at all times. Okay, that's what I'm asking.
Yeah, and Sergeant Major asked this question: do you support censorship?
Yes.
I have a very hard time with that question, because in my core, I want to be a free speech absolutist. I really do. I want to be a 100% free speech absolutist. But the fact of the matter is, we live in a world that includes evil people. And where we extend rights absolutely, and this is a great example of that, the enemy will take advantage of that. A good example kind of outside of this conversation is I also want to be a Fourth Amendment absolutist. You will be securing your person's properties and papers, right, without due process and interference from a judge. And the fact is that in the complex asymmetric and amorphous war on terrorism, that is a legal term of art that was abused extensively by our enemies, especially those Islamic terrorists that Mario and I made our careers hunting and killing. And they made very clever work of legal loopholes and using American legal protections to conduct operations inside the U.S. as U.S. persons, right? Not citizens. U.S. persons is a different category. I'm not going to waste a bunch of time going down that rabbit hole, but my point being, similarly with the question of censorship, of course, you've heard the left screaming, "Oh, the right are a bunch of book burning Nazis." Okay, hold up. You're hearing that come from people who wanted books like To Kill a Mockingbird banned because the N word appeared on it, who wanted books like Tom Sawyer banned because it contained the N word,
Yep.
right? And keep in mind, these are books that were like pro-prohibition, right?
Correct.
The whole point to Big Nigger Jim in Tom Sawyer is that Tom didn't understand why his being a black man should make him be concerned about showing his face in certain places. And in that story, in fact, Jim was actually a runaway slave who, no matter what you think about slavery, the fact of the matter in that legal and political context is that he was a criminal, right? I'm not making an argument for slavery right now. I'll do that later. In another that's another show. But Jim was running away. He was trying to run away and find his wife, and in that context, he was a criminal. He was breaking the law, and he had a concern about that. And that's what the book was. That is one of the major topics the book was dealing with. But the lefties don't want the children to read it just because the magic N word appeared in it. Whereas today, when you hear them screaming about, "Oh, the right are a bunch of book burning Nazis," well, the books that conservatives have tried to remove from public schools, right? The argument hasn't even been these books should be banned, destroyed, burned, eliminated, not available anywhere. Even if some of us believe that, the primary political argument on those, like genderqueer, My Two Dads, things like that, is you shouldn't be allowed to show these books, which, by the way, explicitly detail, pictographic how-to manuals on the performance of sodomy, of bizarre self-pleasuring with objects, and the use of Grindr to solicit dates, right? Basically, an instruction manual to get yourself groomed. And these books are being shown to 6 to 10-year-olds in public schools. So yes, we want those gone. And that's I want to be a free speech absolutist, but as soon as you say all speech is equal, monsters will attempt to abuse your children.
See, that's the problem. And I agree with what Santa Steven wrote in the chat, that prawn is not speech. Okay, I agree. Prawn is not speech. Prawn is a specific product intended to appeal to the most basal desire, okay, of the individual viewing it, right? You could argue, sure, maybe Moo Moo Milk Farm, whatever the disgusting furry porno that women are into reading, I guess I would classify that the same thing, okay? But it's meant to appeal to your most basal desire. The closest equivalent I would say,
I think it's Morning Glory Farm, and it's
whatever.
Yeah.
The closest I would say to prawn, okay, the closest equivalent to it would be kind of like basically like underground dog fighting, okay? Something that is inherently harmful in the use of and in the production of, right? That when performed appeals to the most basal desires of the individuals watching it, which is to see two animals rip each other to shreds, okay? Full on blood sport, right? So that's kind of how I view prawn. And let's see here. Patrick Brown, if people understood what went into making pronouns, very, very nice. I guess that can be our other safety word. Okay. They wouldn't be okay with it anymore. Yeah, correct.
Banning pronouns, just referring to everyone by their title.
Prawn involves human trafficking, whether it's domestic human trafficking, right? Or it's overseas human trafficking. We actually have visas now specifically for pornographers to come over.
Yes.
Right. Which is
that's something we're going to get into in just a second.
Yeah, which is a ludicrous abuse of what the O1 visa program is for. It's meant for like top tier, unique individual talents. Okay, it's kind of like what, and then, for example, like what an international movie star, the visa they would get to come to the United States. Okay, but they use it for prawn, because prawn is a multi-billion-dollar industry, right? And lastly, Karma Cathedral says, I think people need to understand it's not about censoring prawn, it's about making prawn effective again. Right now, prawn has lost effectiveness due to overexposure. Uh, I'm not sure where I'm on the same track with you, Karma. Did you goon yourself unto oblivion, Karma? Is that what happened? I don't step away from the computer, sir. Put it down.
Sergeant Major says, I'm good with being addressed by my title, and we will continue to do that, Your Majesty.
Karma, I'm gonna need you to log out. I'm gonna need you to shampoo the carpet underneath your desk, and I'm gonna need you to clean it up. Okay,
Mario, you remember standing in the common area at Bravo Company one day when Cade and Sergeant Major had come to visit us. We're talking to him. We're in uniform. Of course, Cade wasn't because he was a civilian, but Dad was. Dad was also not in uniform, and Drill Sergeant Klaus came storming through and shoved him out of the way as he blew by him. And just as he blew by, I don't know what he was in a hurry about that morning, but Sunnydale Hyde grabbed him by the sleeve and said, "Hey, that's the Sergeant Major." And that was one of those moments in my life that, sometimes you see a grown ass man make a face, right? Drill Sergeant Klaus was a decorated combat veteran with a body count, a steely-eyed killing machine, right? He looked like the kind of guy you don't want to get on the wrong side of. Great guy, right? Great guy. One of my favorite drill sergeants I ever had. But that moment when I saw that face, and I knew this is a guy who has shot people one-handed because his other hand was busy doing things in combat, and he just went completely ghost pale.
But that was countered by the fact that he also had like the speech patterns and the personality of Bill Murray. You know what I mean? So there was little, he could be subdued. He could have a very wry wit. Okay, so
yes.
I liked him. I liked him a lot.
Yeah, he was one of my absolute favorites while we were there. But the titles. Anyway, okay, let me try to pull this back on track. Because what we're talking about this morning, I didn't want to go quite so far down the rabbit hole on the P word generally. I want to talk about the trend that we're seeing online right now.
You want to go all the way down to the bottom of the rabbit hole. Then whatever you do, don't click on what Crackshot wrote. We need sex bots and artificial wombs. Crackshot wants to go to Pound Town. Wants to go to Pound Town on mannequins loaded up with an amniotic sac. Okay, I don't think so. We can't do that, Crackshot. That technology must never be invented.
And I hate to speculate, but the fact is that technology is coming your way.
No.
It's going to happen. It's going to happen. That's the take my money meme, right?
El futuro es muy muchachos.
This video is AI generated. This clip is AI generated, obviously, but I say obviously, that may not be obvious to everyone. But head of Instagram faces backlash from influencers claiming it failed to protect them against AI slop. Head of Instagram Adam Mosseri faced backlash from influencers after a post about AI use on the platform missed the mark with many creators. The post, which was shared just a day ago over New Year's, revealed Mosseri's thoughts on the future of AI on Instagram and why creators are integral to the platform's trustworthiness. Instagram does not have trustworthiness. Instagram is a product of Meta, which is Facebook, which is Zuckerberg, who is apparently a cyborg sent to dominate you. And he basically has a calendar on his desk that tells him when everybody poops. That's what you're talking about there. In a world where authenticity is becoming infinitely reproducible, it's not. He posed the question to influencers and creators: can you make something that only you could create? Okay, I've been doing music videos using AI. Now, but note I said using AI. Now, the stuff we're about to talk about here in just a moment is 100% AI. Well, if I'm being fair, I should probably say it's 95% AI. At this point, even if you have an agentic AI that writes scripts, produces the videos, and publishes them on a schedule, a human made that. A human made the agent that's the AI agent that's doing that work. So there's we're gonna be having a deep philosophical conversation for a long time about where the line is between whether you're a person using AI as a tool or whether you own an AI that is doing all of the work. And you know, there is already a thing called agentic AI, which is AI that is given a set of operating instructions and then sent out like an employee to perform tasks that fit within the scope of its work description, of its job description. That's already a thing. And that word agentic, that's going to be a messy problem in the coming years when lawyers start arguing about the linkage between agency and personhood.
Yeah, that's a good point. Who do you sue? Who do
And
you sue? Who do you sue for libel or slander if it's AI generated?
right, can you sue the AI? Do you sue the creator?
Do you sue the
Do you
creator
sue
for
the
releasing it?
individuals
I
who
mean, yeah,
shared the libel?
yeah, it's a good
Um,
question. It's a good question. Why is everyone talking about MLK? Is it MLK Day or something?
yeah, today is Robert E. Lee Day.
Perfect.
That's
Robert E.
correct.
Lee Day. Excellent. Okay.
Yeah.
Good. All right.
Um,
Well, I mean, I tire already of the AI slop that I see in my stream, but I can identify it pretty well. Okay. I think a lot of older people can't, which is why like on Facebook you'll see like boomers. I'm sorry, Sergeant Major. I'm sorry. I will only make fun of your generation this one time on this program
well,
today.
in fairness, he's taking a swing at you too.
Is it? Yeah, that's fine. Is Mario human? He has sexual man. I suspect did it. Yes, I am a.
Mario's not actually a human. I opened up ChatGPT one day and said, build for me an agentic AI. He needs to be swarthy, offensive, and contain the entire collected knowledge of historic white supremacy.
Chris actually killed me in Hawaii in circa 2010 and then reprogrammed me. Okay, I'm like he's like Chris is the John Connor to my Terminator. Okay. But yeah, like the AI slop, right? You see the boomers will share it. It's like, oh, it follows like the same script too. It's like this dog came home with a friend, and it's like a dachshund comes home with like a baby wolf pup or whatever, and then it shows like the wolf pup growing up, and the wolf pup has to
Oh
go
yeah.
back to the wolf has to go back to the wild, and it's a sad goodbye between the dachshund and the wolf, and it's just like, and then the wolf shows up one day with its own babies, and I'm just like, do you people really? What are you doing, people? This
And
is
people
fucking
want
slop.
that stuff ends up being incredibly popular.
Anytime I see it, I go into the chats and I'm like, this is AI slot, people. Just understand that, please, like, learn the difference.
Um, I especially like that Patrick is cracking the joke. Wait, Mario is AI slop?
Yep.
For those of you who don't know, this is especially entertaining for me because Mario has met both Patrick and the Sergeant Major. So the backlash from Instagram influencers didn't hold back. The top comments, the vast majority of which being from successful creators themselves, were overwhelmingly negative. Many were in agreement in Mosseri's statement, but instead pointed blame at Instagram for why social media feels so filled with AI slop. And yeah, so for my older audience, I don't do Instagram. There is a Brushfire Mind Instagram account, and literally all of the content that ends up on that account is automatically posted there from an AI. It's short reels cut from the longer daily live show that I occasionally allow an AI to automatically cut clips out of the daily show and post them in various places to increase our reach and scope and audience participation. So there is a Brushfire Mind Instagram uh, account.
Cameron's on Instagram all the time. Okay. And it's a
Yes.
problem. It's a problem because Cameron can't stop following social trends. Okay. He's big into fasting right now. Where the kid is, he's already a skinny kid. All right. I wouldn't call him slight of build, but he kind of is now that he lost like all that, he lost all that, winterized body fat, if you will. You know what I mean? He's going on like 7-day fasts, right? And he's coming out looking like he's clavicular, going for like the Holocaust maxing look. Okay, it's bad. Cameron, eat a sandwich, goddammit. All right.
So, speaking of Instagram,
what do we had? We had an N word. Cam got shat on. Okay, we've almost got the trifecta here. All right.
Key risk Instagram. This is the post in question from the guy that owns Instagram. The key risk Instagram faces is that as the world changes more quickly, the platform fails to keep up. Looking forward to 2026, one major shift: authenticity is becoming infinitely reproducible. So that let me finish the thought that I had earlier on authenticity.
It's a user-driven platform.
Right.
How is it not keeping up? It's a user-driven platform. Of course, it's keeping up. It's just what it's keeping up with you don't like. That's the difference. So
well, and like I was saying, this is going to be a long-running philosophical debate. The question of where's the line. So the AI music that I make, about 50% of it, I've written all the lyrics and then used an AI to create the music, and then used another AI to create the video. And frankly, the only reason I do the video. Well, I mean, several of the videos have come out pretty interesting, pretty fun to watch. But by and large, I do the video because video spreads faster than just music, at least in theory. I'm going to be testing that theory soon. I've got a few new songs that I've done recently that I'm going to publish without video, so it'll just be like a placeholder image and scrolling lyrics. And see how those do. Those will be on Brushfire Anthems, which, by the way, guys, if you have not already subscribed to Brushfire Anthems, I would appreciate y'all going and doing that. I'll drop you a link for that in just a second here. But where's the line between AI doing all your work for you and you as a productive creative using AI as a tool to do productive work? Because there's a lot of room. There are a lot of places where AI is about to eliminate jobs. And this is one of them. So here's what's really interesting. Let's think about the jobs that AI is going to replace, right? This may actually be a white pill for you guys. Why are these women complaining? Fundamentally, it's because what we're seeing is a job that is done almost exclusively by women, which is prostitution, they're now being replaced by men. Because by and large, it's not women who have the interest in things and processes and systems where they will take the time to learn how to use tools like AI to do productive work. We've talked about the damage that feminism has done to this country by bringing women into the workforce. And okay, I might sound sexist for a minute here, but let's talk about that. What do women do in the workforce? By and large, the vast majority of women in the workforce have jobs that don't need to be there.
Jewish daycare.
They're doing email jobs. They're doing, and I'm not talking about like the personal assistant secretary to the executive. That shit's hard work. They're not plumbers. They're not brick masons. They're not electricians. They're not really taking the jobs of men. Instead, what they're doing is they're taking up space in company budgets where they're creating entire HR departments and compliance departments, make work government jobs, essentially. Even in a private company, your HR department and your that includes your compliance department. Jesus, that includes your compliance department. Um,
Let me summarize it real quick. Okay, what women in the workforce are doing? They're doing anything but the incubation and nurturing of the next generation. That's what they're doing.
correct.
Anything but.
That's another piece of that.
That's what it comes down to.
That's another important piece of the feminist lie. This idea, ladies, you can have it all. You can be a career woman. You can be a boss babe and a mother and a wife. No, you can't. If you're actually a female CEO, you're a big boss babe. You're Meryl Streep in Devil Wears Prada, for example. If you have children, you are not raising them. You are renting someone to raise them.
Yep.
Right. When you're at that level, you're the queen with a bevy of wet nurses to pass around the young prince who you never see because you haven't time for it. Right. Well,
Karma Cathedral says AI is eliminating female-led jobs because their jobs are the lowest common denominator jobs. Yeah, kind of, but I don't know. I think they're going to have to maintain real live femoids, okay, in the HR departments, because the AI looks at things. Well, doesn't the AI kind of look at things objectively? All right, you need real live women in the HR department to actively discriminate against men like you and I, Chris. Okay, the AI is going to look at us and, well, no, it won't. I know that's wishful thinking. The AI.
That's an interesting point you bring up, Mario. What is actually about to happen is the AI is going to look at exactly the make work femoids that you're talking about, and it is going to produce reports that very clearly and numerically explain these employees are excess to requirement.
So Skynet's going to target the women first.
Sergeant Major says word processors did the same thing 50 years ago. Then computers eliminated more jobs. Yes. And this is going to be different than that in that it will be a much bigger bloodbath, because when the word processors came out, they eliminated the jobs that were held by people that did the same job as the word processor. These agentic AI systems are going to be producing reports that say, hey, why are you paying somebody in a DEI position in an HR department whose only job is to tell you who you shouldn't hire based on what their skin color is? And that's the only job that person has. That job is a net negative to your bottom line, and you should eliminate that role entirely. And it is going to do that for probably half of women-led industrial positions.
That's a good point, Sergeant Major. I never thought of that, but yeah, you're right. Like 50 years ago, being a typist is actually kind of like a skilled profession. All right,
very much so.
With typewriters, there's no mercy. Okay, like you've got to be perfect. You are operating a sensitive piece of equipment, and you're expected to operate it fluidly. So yeah, good point.
Yeah, you didn't have a backspace key.
Yeah, well, you did, but you'd get like you would be turning in a document with whiteout on it. Okay, and it's just obvious.
Right. If you committed an error on a page that was going to be, you're typing an offer letter that's going from your sales team to a client.
Yeah.
No, one typo, start over.
Yep.
Right.
No mercy.
Right. In those cases, in the case of the word processor and later the computer generally, it only eliminated those jobs which it directly replaced. And that is not what AI is about to do. AI is about to eliminate whole commercial sectors. I actually over this past weekend, just these last 2 days, I sat through an 18-hour seminar on the use of agentic AI and something called vibe coding, a term that I detest because it just sounds it sticks in my craw. It sounds like something I don't know. It sounds like something some hippie on a beanbag at Google would say, and it is, but it's a powerful mechanical algorithmic tool that I will be using to great effect in the future, I hope. But y'all, I sat through this seminar over the weekend for one primary reason, right? I mean, I had, selfish motivations. I think the AI is powerful and there's value there that I can tap. But more importantly, in 10 years, this will be the world my children are trying to get jobs in. And I have to prepare them for that. I have to either identify which jobs are going to be irreplaceable by AI for the foreseeable future and say, hey, little battle, you need to go learn to be a plumber or an electrician, because otherwise whatever you try to learn to do is going to be AI'd away.
Mm.
Or, hey, if you want to be the next great video game creator, you have to learn how to do it with using AI to do it. Don't learn to code. Don't you waste your time trying to learn to code. That ship has sailed.
Well, look, do more network architecture, do more like hardware, okay? Like maintaining server stacks, things like that.
Yes.
That AI can't replace that. Okay. I'm kind of in a weird. I'm in what you would imagine would be a perilous situation in the job market in relation to AI, because I do tech support and customer service. Okay, primarily over the phone, email, FaceTime, whatever. Right. I could easily be replaced by AI. The problem is the customers recognize that they're talking to a robot and they don't like it. Okay.
Right.
Which affects the bottom line of the company. Therefore, you have to hire real people who are real, like, subject matter experts like me to do the job for now.
So an AI that has been programmed to be the subject matter expert on a particular topic will be a better subject matter expert, technically speaking, just on because it will have unlimited access to the entire broad knowledge base. Now, what it cannot replicate, at least yet, is the experience, right? Where, okay, here's the example. I've told the example of using the YouTube University in the past, and I had to go change. I was replacing the shower handles and the valves in my shower, and I thought to myself, okay, I know how to do this, but I'm going to watch a YouTube video on it just in case before I open it up, because it's the shower. This is the kind of thing where I'm going to turn off the I have to turn off the water. And then once I open the thing up, I have to finish the job before I turn the water back on, so the water's off the house. So I want to make sure that I've got all my I's crossed and my T's dotted. So I popped on YouTube and I watched a video on it. And when I watched that video, I knew what I was doing. I was opening up the valves. I was putting packing material into the packing nut. And as I watched the video, the guy said, "Oh, and don't forget, there's this washer on the end of the valve. Since you're already in here, even if it doesn't need to be replaced, go ahead and do it, because that way it's a nickel part and it's an easy fix. Just go ahead and put a brand new washer there, so it's already done, and that's a problem that you're not going to have for another 5 years." Like, oh, that's cool. That makes sense. Let me run my ass down the street to the hardware store and grab the washers, right? So that is the piece
that would be ideal AI.
That is a piece that the AI can pick up. Real quick, Mario, that is a piece that the AI can pick up. What the AI doesn't pick up quickly and easily is, oh, you got all the packing nuts open, but you only have enough material for 2 of them. You can use dental floss in the 3rd one, and that'll hold you over for a while.
Mm.
Right? That's the kind of stuff. Oh, I can make a shim out of an Altoids can if I just absolutely need this thing to be level until I can get a more appropriate material. Okay. Cool.
Should AI be forced to follow Asimov's rules for robots? I think so. But that is like, if you look into science fiction, right? Particularly science fiction before the invention of AI, right? The AI existed in that era, right? But ideally, what you wanted from your AI was, it was like a robot helper, like an assistant. You know what I mean? Or
right.
Or like in, say, 40K, you've got a servitor, which is like a floating skull that just follows you around and answers questions for you, right? But it doesn't actually do the job for you. Every time in science fiction, the AI actually just starts doing the whole job, it immediately turns into a dystopian nightmare, okay?
Yeah.
With apocalyptic consequences. So, yeah. AI is about to take over the medical fields, nurse robots, and robot surgery from Crackshot.
Yes.
Well, yes. I mean, if once you've got it, okay, it would look like what we see in science fiction. Okay, we actually have it right now. It's just nightmare mode. Okay, it's the MAID, the assisted suicide machine, where you lock yourself in the capsule from Flight of the Navigator. Okay, and it gasses you to death. What would you be looking at? An AI that might replace the surgical field would be, say, in what was that last Aliens movie? It was like a pro
I missed it.
Prometheus, Alien Prometheus, or whatever, right?
Oh no, there's
Where
been like 3 Aliens movies since Prometheus.
I
But
divorced
I
myself
got
from
you.
popular culture after that. But it's where she's got the alien inside of her, right? And she gets
Right.
in the machine, and it doesn't have the option for abortion, which of course political whatever, but it does have the option for select for foreign object removal, right? She pushes the button, AI goes to work, rips the alien out. So yeah,
Well, and so as far as that goes, laparoscopic surgery is already very much a thing where a small tube is inserted and then the little robot fingers inside the tube do the work. Uh, the only thing left to replace people entirely is to put excuse me. Shit, I don't know why I took my headphones off for that. The microphone's right there. I have a cough button.
monkey see,
Anyway,
monkey do.
the only thing that's left is to actually automate and remove the doctor from the point that's between the computer that's doing the thinking part of the surgery and the laparoscopic machine that's conducting the physical labor. Right now, what you have is there's a human being who is plugged in between 2 machines. One tells him what to do, and then he translates that through his wetware into the hardware that's doing the actual task at the other end of his commands. Replacing that centerpiece is what AI is going to do. Now, up here's another one. Karma Cathedral says the future job market is about learning how to be a manager. Managing AI will eventually be similar to managing a dozen employees. You've got one thing wrong there, Karma. That's already happening. That is already the fact of the matter. Amazon, Google, Microsoft, they have all laid off thousands of employees just over the last year, specifically because those employees are being replaced with AI systems, and those systems are doing things like handling customer complaints, routing order logistics, managing AI powered robots in warehouses to move product around. Crackshot says AI will manage AI. No, it already is. That's the thing. That's the thing, guys. It's already doing it.
Yep.
That is not the future. That is the right now. The future is not AI will manage AI. It is even more, right?
Haven't they already done that? Haven't they already done that where like AI will split itself into numerous AIs, almost like in a division of labor type setup, right? Where there's the macro AI, but it is running essentially up to, I mean, however many data centers you got, infinite clones of itself doing different things, right? So
that's called agentic AI.
That does exist.
That is the agentic AI that I was talking about earlier.
I can't help it. I'm taking the bait. Pit Danny says, "What about trans surgery?" I don't. Is AI going to do trans surgery? I don't know, but I'll tell you this: it would have to do a better job than the little shop of horror creations that I've seen on 4chan. Nope.
Honestly,
nope. Just leave it.
Nope. No. Not that. Basically that too, but. There is a future where essentially what's going to happen is you will walk up to a vending machine at your grocery store, and you're like, "Hey, babe, I'll be back in a minute. I'm running out to grab a gallon of milk and an appendectomy. I'll be back in half an hour." And you'll step into a pod. You'll close the door. You'll have your appendix removed, and then you'll go pick up a gallon of milk and go home.
Yeah. Cade brings up the classic question: we don't have a population surplus now, but will we as AI reaches further potential? Too few jobs for too many people. Well, that's why presently you always see that argument paired with the UBI, universal basic income question, right?
Yeah, that's not going to happen.
But that the problem is UBI. I mean, man, unless you've got a rigid, homogenous society where people share deep cultural and religious values with each other, UBI will end in communism every single time. Okay.
Here's what's going to happen here, and here's why this is I'm sorry, this is going to be a bit of a black pill. Here's what's about to happen. AI is going to replace so many jobs that there will not be enough consumers to purchase products. And as the AI is managing production projections, it will say, oh, McDonald's will start making superconductors because the AI managing it will say, there aren't humans buying cheeseburgers anymore, but there are data farms buying superconductors. So we're just going to get out of the cheeseburger business, stay in the real estate business, and start producing superconductors to sell to these factories. It will start servicing itself.
The answer would have to be the ultimate answer. Okay, would be basically you're setting the conditions for, say, Star Trek. It's a post-scarcity society, right? So what do? We must, to avoid the absolute crippling and entropy of the human spirit, we must explore beyond. Okay, that could be like the dream scenario where AI creates the conditions where we can actually explore space at scale. Okay, and then
that's the whole Elon Musk model.
Yeah, and then your excess population, it's not a problem. You just send them to space. Yep.
Yeah, and
or stick them in bantha tanks.
I can't wait to put a prison colony on the moon. I cannot wait to put a prison colony on the moon.
Yeah, or Martian penal colony. Yeah, man.
Yeah, yep. Hell yeah.
It's like this, man. You can go to Mars and break rocks, or we can put you in the Matrix style bantha tank and harvest you for electricity. What would you rather do? Send me to Mars. Fuck it.
Well, that depends. Does the bantha tank have massage rollers? Mm-hmm. Okay. I think we can go ahead and put a pin in it there. I do have to go to work this morning, so
maybe we can pit Danny. It could be the spice mines of Kessel, or experimental trans surgeries. Spice mines. Let's go.
Yeah, I'll take my nuts to the moon. Oh, so before I close it out, guys, I need a little feedback from you guys. Let me just throw one of these on.
I think we need a black. Cade says, I mean, yeah, would it be helpful if mothers stayed home and men made enough to sustain his family? Of course it would. Okay, but we're not going to get that. We need to have like a black swan event before the AI completely overturns the entire U.S. job market. Okay.
Yes.
We need a black swan event. That's the only thing that's going to pump the brakes on it. Okay. Or accelerate it. I don't know.
And I need some comments, guys. Leave comments under the video, or go ahead and say stuff in the live chat. We are the brush fire mind, right? So we should start making some videos where we burn things that are hateful, and we burn things for the sake of making that statement.
That's right.
So let me know what we should be burning.
There's some Israelis in Patagonia who would really love
that. Yeah, gotta be careful with this bad boy because whoo! I cannot turn it all the way up inside. I'll burn the shack down around me. It's an amazing toy.
For the YouTube Dalit compliance department, that is not technically a firearm, despite it shooting fire. Funny enough.
In fact, the fact that fire came out the end of it Pit Danny says, I want one of those.
Everybody does.
You know
why
what?
wouldn't you want a flamethrower? Why?
And actually, I'll tell you the truth. They're relatively inexpensive. That was like $100. So I will.
I want the one that's I want like the World War II era one, the one that shoots like napalm 20 yards. That's
Shit! Hey, actually, guys, this is okay. Unexpected. Cool. I'll go ahead and drop it in the chat. They're on sale right now. They're usually $129. They're on sale for $89 right now. So I'll Sergeant Major says creme, exactly. I am going to make creme brulees with that thing eventually.
the most dramatic finishing of a creme brulee ever.
And so there's links right there, and I'm going to go ahead and add a link to the pinned comment in the chat, so you guys can go pick one up. That's a fantastic toy, especially if you've got like a fire pit, a barbecue pit, a raptor trap like I've got here. Yeah. Like I had to take my son to the doctor the other day, and he had to get a sonogram on a little spot on his face. So he ended up with one of the little bands with all the identifying information on it. And he, we got done, and I cut it off his wrist for him, and he started throwing the trash. I said, "Hold up. There's PII on that." I mean, there wasn't really, there was his name on it, but there's PII on that. That's no. You got to bring that home. Why, Daddy? Because it has to be destroyed to protect your identity. But Dad, I'll let you use the flamethrower. Okay. Yeah, Sergeant Major says Chris and I finished a prime rib with one. Well,
Chris, if you're gonna shill their shit this hard, why don't you email them and tell them to sponsor the show? How about that?
If I'm being honest, because they're a Chinese company.
Oh man. Yeah,
so buy their shit from Amazon, and I get a commission. Oh, I didn't actually meant to make this a sales pitch. I really just wanted to ask you guys what we should be burning on camera with the new toy. But yeah. So I guess I can do an unboxing video. I can put it back in the box and let Mario goon on camera to me burning things with the fire stick. That'll make for good content, right?
Man, Mario gooning on camera. It got dark. It ended dark. Okay. Well,
I mean, we started here. Where else could it go? All right, guys. Thanks for watching this morning. Y'all be safe out there. We love you, and we will see you tomorrow.
Ciao. All right.
I hit the button. It was supposed to do the thing. That's the thing it was supposed to do.